Steve, the Pirates are on the brink of competing in the Northwest Conference Championships again this week. But before we talk about that, let's talk about how the conference dual meet season ended. You guys coming off of an undefeated season for the men once again. The women finished 6-2, very respectable. Just take us through those last couple of weeks of dual meets at Puget Sound, Pacific Lutheran, and Whitman.
Sure. Great dual meets. All three of those teams are great teams, and it pushed us to our best. Early in the month, we were coming off of our winter training camp, and so we were pretty tired. But as we went through that month with those three dual meets, each dual meet, you could see us getting better, and then better, and then better. And because we're sharpening up, getting ready for a conference meet, we were coming down in yardage and still working hard. But it was fun to kind of watch the team continuing to progress and grow. And I felt like we kind of built on each week. It was pretty fun.
What were one or two of the highlight swims that stood out for you in the last couple of weeks?
I'd say Owen Lempert really kind of stood out. Broke our pool record at that last dual meet. And you could see that kind of coming. I mean, every meet he was getting a little bit better and a little bit better. And, I'm excited for him because he's a senior, going into his last sort of, his last month or two as a college swimmer. And to see him hitting stride and hitting his best at the right time is great. I think he's got some confidence, and he's feeling pretty excited, and we're excited for him. He's swimming well. To go 21 flat, not shaved, not tapered, is a big swim for us, and that'll help all of our relays. And and a lot of good swims. I think on the women's side, Cameron Lyon has been really, really outstanding for us. Kind of helped us in all of our distance events and the 200 butterfly, and she has a hard lineup every dual meet. She swims a lot of stuff and a lot of yardage and does it really, really well. So I'm excited to see what she can do with a 4-day championship where everything's spread out and she's not having to swim things back to back to back like she often does.
Talk about the championships coming up. They're taking place in the King County Weyerhaeuser Aquatic Center over in Federal Way, a place that most of the team is very familiar with because they've been there most every year. How does competing in a facility like that energize the team?
Well, we love the venue. It's a world-class facility, probably the best in the Northwest for sure. I mean, when you look at Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, it's by far the best facility in this part of the country. World-class. They've had the Goodwill Games here and a lot of world-class competitions, and you feel that when you go through the door there. It's big, open, sort of stadium-type facility with a pool right smack in the center of it, and it gets the blood pumping. I mean, we're excited. You get to a venue like that, and you feel like, okay, it's go time. This is big-time swimming, and people tend to step up at that place.
Kind of give us a handicap of how the meet looks. Where do the Pirate teams stack up?
Yeah, so very exciting meet this year. On the women's side of the meet, there's a lot of parity. So I would say, out of a 9-team conference, 4 or 5 of those teams are going to be in it to win it. It's that close, and so that's exciting. I mean, there'll be some strategy and stuff like that, but it's really going to be who's hot at the time. I think our women could win it. I'd say we're maybe slight underdogs at the moment to Whitman. I would say they're the slight favorite with 2 or 3 teams all kind of right behind them. And then on the men's side, Linfield is on paper the favorite at the moment, and I would say that Whitworth is right behind them, but not by much. And a psych sheet, which is what I tell my team, is just a psych sheet. It doesn't mean a whole lot. Because it really comes down to who's ready to swim fast. Some teams may have shaved and tapered 2 or 3 times already. Other teams will save it for the very end. That tends to be our strategy. And so when you look at a time on paper, you have to realize that things can change a lot. The psych sheet doesn't mean a whole lot. So.